So into the charts we go, and yes, we got a big surge on Bitcoin today, going basically from yesterday's close of 16,400 to current levels of around 17,175. And case in point, anyone out there who's kind of iffy on the charts, do the charts really matter? Well, again, clearly, we talked about this in every video for the last 3 days or so, and we talked about the bullish consolidation pattern. And again, the 45 to 90 degree, right? 90 degree would be flat, 45, here's your angle. That consolidation was maturing day after day after day, got basically to a mature pattern, and then what happens? Off to the races we go. Monster pop there, beautiful move. You actually hit a little minor resistance right here. Look at the high of this candle, how it was kind of, it popped up here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So basically you popped up and then you sold off here. That high of that candle now is just, it's just a minor level, very minor, but bottom line there is a little resistance there. If we continue up, and I've talked about this before, you know where you're going to go? See this little pivot low from June? Let's put a trend line in right there. If we look at here, it's right to this body, these body highs right here. That would be your next resistance. That's the most likely target in the near term of Bitcoin. So again, isn't it? I mean, it is just, I look at these charts and I just, again, I hope you guys get as excited as I do about this stuff, because bottom line is, when you know this stuff, it all of a sudden starts to make sense. You're putting the probabilities in your favor, and ultimately it helps you make consistent money. It's not perfect. Let's be fair. Nothing is perfect in trading. We just have to accept that. But if you can get the odds to 70 to 80%, holy cow, you are king of the castle, queen of the castle, whatever you may be. You are at that point consistently making good opportunity trades and making money year over year. And it just builds that wealth, folks, bottom line. All right, so that's where we are. Remember, we have this little baseline here, which again was the low here. We bounced up, we hit the low here. That's where we got that little cup pattern. There's your handle, which again is a bull flag. A handle of a cup and handle is a bull pattern, right? Bull flag, in spirit of in this case. And then there's your move to the upside. Now, what was the culprit here? Bottom line, the culprit was Jerome Powell. We knew he was speaking today, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. His comments came out. They were released to the market. And this is the kicker. This is why I actually don't believe in this rally that much. I still think there's maybe a little bit more upside to go. But the bottom line is, what have I said about the December 14th, Fed meeting, right? I said basically they're going to do 50 to 25 basis points, right? So to me, it wasn't even in question if they were going to do 75 or not. Well, today, Jerome Powell confirmed what I said, saying he's going to probably do 50 basis points. So the market, in my opinion, there was a lot of shorts that were hoping he was going to smoke the market and really crush it and just be super hawkish. Those shorts covered. And that's what created this big rally. And the S&P just had a monster move. The spiders, look at this candle on the spiders. But look at what the spiders did. Look, down sloping trend line right there. And even if you go above, which I think you might pierce here, guess what? Gap fill right there. That's, to me, probably your bogey level. So again, the reason why I don't believe in this is because in the rally itself, and listen, the rally's the rally, that's fine, but why I'm looking to short like S&P, and again, I think that ultimately we're still headed down to 12, 13,000 and eventually 9 on Bitcoin, is because this is just a relief. It's a relief that the Fed's not going to do 75, they're still going to do 50, then they're going to do 25, then they're going to do 0, which is all fine and dandy, but interest rates are still going to stay up there. Until we see inflation down to 2%, they're not going to feel like they can cut rates. And that's what the market's not kind of recognizing right now, and that's something that's going to be huge for the markets. Because if you have interest rates, right now the Fed funds is at 4%. So at the next meeting, 4.5, and probably by early January, February, 5%. Then it's going to stay there. That's my guess. And the market, the economy is going to slip into recession. And that's going to be the kicker. And the markets and the investing public is going to look to the Fed and say, oh, we're in recession now. Could you guys please cut? And the Fed's going to say, well, nope, sorry, we can't. Inflation's still 4% or whatever it is. Now, if we get in depression, yeah, of course they're going to cut, start stimulating, which is my bull case for Bitcoin anyways in the longer term, where at some point the Fed is going to go back to what they know best, which is printing money to save the day. And that's just going to be more and more reasoning behind buying Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum as well. But again, just be careful. Be careful right now. Yes, it's a nice move up. It's awesome to see some of these cryptos we're holding starting to pop up a little. I love seeing near in the 170 plus range. I want to see it pop a little bit higher. In fact, we can go to that chart real quick here. NEAR. Here was your resistance. Looks like you just kind of got up to that level. You're right around there. I want to see us move a little bit higher towards that 180 level and then potentially, again, 190 to 95. Again, that would be a beautiful move. But again, the bottom line is you had all the makings of it. The charts, again, here's my 90 degrees. Here's my 45 on the Ethereum chart. We were staying in that range, and look at the blow off, the blast off on Ethereum. Ethereum, again, touching 1,300 today before having a small, tiny pullback here. All right, in any case, let's go to Cardano real quick here. Cardano, beautiful pop today as well. Small pullback starting in the new day. Look at the resistance, right? Right here, these tops, and we draw that line right across, gives us right there. That makes sense. So right around 32 cents is resistance. If you can get through 32 cents, I think you have upside to about the 33.2 cent level, and then potentially maybe if we get a real big bull run, back to 38 cents up there. Looking at Polkadot, see what we got on Polkadot. Polkadot, two beautiful candles in a row here to the upside. Pause candle starting here again. Where's resistance? Look at this. Highs here, then you pulled back. So what makes sense? You're going to hit resistance there. And yeah, I mean, again, this is just minor. I would call this minor resistance, but it's still resistance. And so now you have to break through that to get your next leg up. Next leg up for me on Polkadot would probably bring us right in this level here. These lows mirroring these highs here. And then eventually this would be another stopping point here and here and right through. So these are just kind of along the way. I mean, this will be the real big one up here if we zoom out. This down sloping line, this will be epically big, but these are kind of stopping points of resistance along the way. All right, so that's where we stand on that. Let's look at Solana here. Solana, really honestly, mediocre bounce, not much of one. It still has to get through this level here at around 15 bucks. Gets through 15, now you're talking about $18. And that would just be an absolute beautiful move if we can see it move up there. So again, but still has to break 15. And right now it's not doing that. There's still this overhang of how much the FTX sister company, Alameda, owned of it or whatever it was called. And, you know, do they have to unload it in a bankruptcy and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, again, there's a lot of overhang. If they can get that cleared out, then I think Solana has huge upside, but it's a lot to kind of clear off the deck at this point. Here's your chart of Avalanche. Avalanche, beautiful move here. Pause candle. So again, nice move up. Look at the highs here. Let me erase these lines so we can see it a little clearer. All right, I'm even going to erase this one. But look, here's your high. Here's your high here, here. And then look at the high of the new day right there. It just touched that. And now it's getting a small pullback. So that's resistance. I mean, it's just that simple. Now, if you break through that, 14, then if you break through that, you're going to 1540. All right, those are your levels on that. Let's take a look at Matic real quick. Awesome pop on Matic here. So that had a nice pop. I mean, basically everyone we go to here, BNB. Actually, BNB's the shallower of the pops. Almost no pop there. But remember, this had a big run here, so it's still digesting that up move on Binance. Okay? Let's see what else we want to look at here. We can look at Quant. Haven't looked at that in a few days. Quant, yeah, okay, a little bit of an up move here. I still think you're probably heading back up here, but that's now resistance, right? Broken support now becomes resistance. That's resistance right there. So if it gets up to like 140, 141, 142, you should expect potentially a little bit of a pullback there. All right, guys, again, awesome move today. Markets risk on, heck yeah, great to see. But again, the question is, can Bitcoin, and this is the Bitcoin daily chart again, can it get through this resistance and test that 17.5 to 17.6 level? That will be a big level. I would be somewhat surprised if we get through very easily on that level. And even if we do, so this is the low, but then look at this. Then you come into all these lows here. This low and draw a line there, right across to here, then right to here, and there's a ton of resistance at 18.5. So Bitcoin has a lot of resistance to get through. Doesn't mean in the long term it's not going to do it. I fully think Bitcoin's going to 100 to 250 to 500,000, but it's just in this range. It's got a lot to get through. You need to get that regulation out there. You got to get that clarity, that transparency out there. Then big money will step up and start really accumulating. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks as always. I'll talk to you soon. Take